I have been waiting for this smartphone both to be designed and launched by a company, and I've also been waiting for it to be delivered. This is the Razer phone, a smartphone really focused on great performance, great specifications, an amazing screen, and it really does promise to deliver on all of those fronts. So before I unbox the Razer phone, which I'm very excited about, I must say a big thank you to 3 in the UK for making this video possible. They very kindly sent this out to me so I could experience the Razer phone firsthand. And also a big thank you to Razer, the company, a company that's very well known for producing amazing gaming products. I've reviewed their products many times on the Geekanoids channel, including things like their keyboards and mice and their headsets. And now they've focused their efforts on creating what promises to be a really good gaming experience on a smartphone. Now, before we get into the box, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who's tuned in. We have got the live chat available today, so if you've got any questions, I'll answer those in the latter part of this video. And also, if you want to use the super chat feature to have your comment or question highlighted, then that is available too. A big hello to Paul, Raymond, and 2 Chris's in the chat very early on. Thank you very much for tuning in so quickly. So this is the Razer phone, and it's got really nice packaging. I'll talk to you about the specifications in a short while, but I want you to experience the unboxing with me. So although I've had a very tiny sneak peek, I haven't been able to unwrap this yet. So let's take a look. So we've got this plain black box. On the back it's just got some details about the main specs and also the serial number, etc. And then we've got this little pull tab on the side that we can pull open. It's like a magnetic latch on the side of this box. So we open this up, and then we are presented with a note from Razer. It just is welcoming you to purchasing the Razer phone. It says that the device you hold in your hands is a culmination of our blood, sweat and toil that began years ago when we brought some of the most talented designers and engineers in the mobile industry under one roof. And they went on to continue to develop this phone. So a nice little welcome message inside the box. And then we've also got the phone front and center there. Wow, really nicely presented. I love the way they've put that right in the center. Little pull tab to pull this up. We're going to take a closer look at the smartphone itself in a short while. I've got a SIM card in there as well, and then we've got this top tray that lifts out. Or does it just open up? It just opens like this. That's hinged, that top tray. And then we've got all of the accessories really nicely presented inside here. So let's take this first one out. This is the first one. And this has got the SIM removal tool and some instructions on how to do it. Look at that SIM removal tool. How awesome is that? It's got the Razer branding sort of etched out of it. Very cool, or cut out of it. That's the first thing in that pack. And then we've got some details here about the phone itself. A couple of stickers from Razer as well. That's what we've got inside that first pack. And then we've got a second pack here. Let's open this one up. So another little pack of goodies. And inside here, it's really nicely presented. I like the texture to the cardboard they've used here. Is this going to come out? Here we go. So we have got a braided cable, and this is USB-C to 3.5mm. So this is the headphone adapter. Apparently this has got like a DAC unit in it as well. So really nice quality adapter. So this isn't going to have a 3.5mm headphone jack on the actual product. It's going to have USB-C. Another nice little box, again with really nice detail, little pull tabs to get everything out nice and easily. This is purely just the charging cable, so it's a USB-C to USB-C charging cable. And then the final box here, which is a larger box, again Razer branded on the back, and this nice texture to it. And in here we have got the charger. So this is a UK plug with a little pull-up tab to open the plug up, and then USB-C on this end. I think this is a higher rated charger as well, so it should charge the phone nice and quickly. So that's pretty much everything inside the box, so really nicely presented. Love the packaging on this one, so very cool. We've also just so you can see that as the light catches it, we've got the Razer logo embossed on the box as well. So now we've got the smartphone itself. It's got some weight to it. Let's peel this off. Very nice. It's a very angular design, but I love the design of it. Wow. So this is like a full metal body on this. Quite slippery, but really nice quality to the finish on here. And we've got the Razer logo on the back. Very nice. I know you can get a limited edition one, I'm not sure if it's still available, which has got this in the green colour. So you can go for the green colour if you so wish. We've got two 12 megapixel cameras on the back here as well, and obviously the flash. On the top there's a little pinhole mic. On this side we've got the main power on off button, and then we've also got the little SIM tray just there. On the bottom another microphone and the USB-C connector, and then also on this side here we've got the volume up and down buttons, separate buttons for the volume up and down. It just feels very nice. Let's start this up, and whilst it's starting up we can have a look at the front. So we've got a front facing camera here as well, and these really good, I've seen this in other videos, really good front facing speakers on here. This is designed for gamers, the main sort of feature being the display and the sound this produces, so really optimized experience for if you want to game on your smartphone. So whilst this is starting up, it looks like it's starting up very quickly. We're already at the get started screen. We'll run through the setup procedure in a short while, but before I do so I just want to run through some of the main specifications. So we've got what Razer are calling a 120 Hz ultra motion screen, so it's going to give you really smooth frame rate, so a really nice visual experience. We've also got Dolby Atmos and THX certified audio, so again really good audio experience. Inside we've got a Snapdragon 835 processor and 8GB of RAM. We've seen this trend with flagship smartphones this year where we're getting 8GB of RAM. That's really going to help this. We've also got 12 megapixel dual cameras on the back and a 4000 mAh battery, so plenty of battery life. Now with regards to storage, we've got 64GB of internal storage, but you can further expand that via the micro SD card slot. The actual size of the screen is 5.7 inches and the resolution is 1440 by 2560. And there's Corning Gorilla Glass 3 on the front as well. Now with regards to the cameras, let's just talk about these cameras, which I will show you in action in this very video. These are both 12 megapixels. They've got different apertures, and that's meant to help with low light. So one of them's f1.75, the other one's f2.6. We've also got dual phase detect autofocus on here as well, and a dual tone dual LED flash on the back. So that's the main sort of specifications. Let's run through the setup procedure, and then I'll dive into your chat and take a look at some of your questions. So we've just tapped getting started. We've got some various terms to agree to, so we're going to tap accept on all of those. We're going to set this up as a new phone, and now it's asking for my Wi-Fi password, so we're just going to pop this in. Now I know the screen defaults to a lower refresh rate when you first turn this on, so I will go into the settings and set it to the 120 Hz and give you my opinion on that. I'll also give you my opinion on the speakers, and I'll also give you my opinion on those cameras as well. So we're still authenticating on the Wi-Fi connection, assuming I put my password in right. So it's saying authentication problem. Perhaps I put it in incorrectly. Let's just pop that in again. I might have mistyped it. Here we go, that's better. I must have just done a typo. So now it's connected, it's saying check in for updates, and now it's going to ask us probably to sign into our Google account, which we're going to skip for now, just for speed. So we just skipped through that particular set. We're going to actually skip doing the name on the phone. We're going to add a fingerprint straight away. So the fingerprint sensor is built into the power button here. So we're going to put a pin in just to further protect the smartphone and pop it in for a second time. It just asks for that pin number twice. And now we're going to find the sensor. So we're going to place our finger on the sensor on the side here, and we're just going to keep lifting and then putting it back on in slightly different positions until we run through the necessary number of impressions on our fingerprint. And the beauty of having this built into the power button, much like the Sony Xperia range of smartphones, is it's where your thumb naturally goes to turn the phone on. So that was really easy. So that's the fingerprint added. We're going to tap next on this next screen. We're not going to change anything else, and we're going to say all set. So it's saying adding finishing touches. We've got Razer ID option here as well, which we can use, so we can sign in with our Razer ID, but we're going to skip that for now and do it later. And now it's just giving us some information about the 3 network, who very kindly sent this out. It's given us an option to install some apps. I'm going to uncheck those for now, so we don't want any additional apps. Nice that it's asking us, do we want to install some additional apps? It's not just installing it all just for the sake of it. But I'm going to skip all of those for now, and we'll get on to the main experience here. Really nice looking screen though, even though it's not currently on 120 Hertz. We've skipped that and we're into the main screen. Look at that. This is your first look at the screen as well. Wow. Very, very nice. Awesome. Love it. Now this comes with Nova Launcher as the launcher, and it's like a custom designed Nova Launcher especially for Razer. So we've got some really nice customization options in here. The first thing I'm going to do actually is turn the brightness down so you can see this on your screen, and we're going to go into our settings, and where's the settings? Just there. We're going to go into settings and then into display. We're going to change the refresh rate, which is 90 Hertz out of the box, change that to 120, and we're going to also stop the display from sleeping. So here we go. This is what the options look like for the display. So I hope you can see that. If you want to pause the video or come back to the video after it goes live on the channel, then you can check out those settings for yourself. So let's go back to the home screen. I'm just going to put the brightness up a tiny bit, and let's have a look at this. Wow, that is so smooth. So smooth. That is so, I didn't think it would be that impressive, but even just swiping up and down on the screen, and I know there's not a lot installed on here at the moment, but even just the transitions that you're seeing when you're swiping up and down is really very, very good. That is a noticeable difference. This is a gorgeous quality screen. I'm going to put the brightness up to around about halfway, just so you can see the vibrancy of the screen a little bit more. It's really very, very good. And the off-axis viewing angles, again, pretty good as well. You lose a little bit of clarity, obviously, at these acute angles. I want to get a white screen up. Let's accept and continue on Chrome. We don't want to sign in. I just want a white screen. I just want to look at, so now I've got a white screen up. I just want to look at the viewing angles and see if there's any colour shift. There's no, I can't see any colour shift on that. It's a really nice screen though. Wow. Let me go on to just like a website. So I'm just now on the Amazon website. I just want to look at how, when you're scrolling, let's go put this brightness down again just so that you can get a good look at this. When you're scrolling through something like a website, when all the images are loaded, it's just very, very smooth in its scrolling action. And you're not going to be able to necessarily see this on the video purely because you're not seeing this at 120 Hertz. But it is so smooth. Nice bright whites as well. Very, very nice colouring to the screen. A nice sort of tonal quality to it. I see screens when sometimes they look over warm, and sometimes look overly blue, this has got a nice balance to it. I like that a lot. Oh my goodness, I didn't think I was going to like this as much as I do. It's just so nice. It really is nice. I love the launcher as well. I love the way everything looks. We've obviously got a green theme to a lot of the icons. We've got a theme store as well. Let's pop into theme store. We have to sign in to go into the theme store, but you can download extra themes. I also want to just check about the phone. So this is currently running Android version 7.1.1 with the Nova launcher over the top. We will get an update to Google Android version 8 in the future for this as well. But it's just so nice. Now, with regards to how it feels in the hand, it's quite angular, of course, but it feels nice and comfortable. The Razer logo here would have been a perfect place as well for a fingerprint sensor, but if you'll notice, my thumb has naturally gone onto the fingerprint sensor on the side. So it's a really nice placement. And this Razer logo has a little bit of texture to it, so a little bit of something to sort of grip onto, very slightly. We've also got a little tiny raised edge around the camera. So a little tiny bit of a camera bump, but not too much. And it just feels very comfortable. It feels really well made as well. The fit and finish on everything is really good. So nice quality feeling, a piece of metal in your hand with this gorgeous display, which I'm just going to, just for the fun of it, I'm just going to put it up to full brightness and just have a look at that. Whoa, that is full brightness. Very cool. Check out that screen, and it's all about that 120 Hz display, which has impressed me even just doing simple scrolling. Very impressed indeed. So as with all of my live broadcasts where I'm looking at the phones, I will take some questions very shortly, but the first thing I want to do is go into the camera, and I just want to take a few photos just to see how it performs. So the first one I'm going to do, as always, is just under my desk area here, and we just let that focus and then take the first photo. I didn't want flash, it put flash on. Let's turn the flash off. Here we go. So we just take that again. I just want to take these first batch of photos without any flash. So that's the first one. Let's take a picture of, let's take one over here like I always do. Just over here. And then let's take one just up there. So it is a very simple user interface. There's no denying that. But I just want to see what these photos look like. So this one here. So it's a nice colour rendition. It's got the colours nicely. Nice colours, very natural looking colours on this first photo. I think it's done a decent job of that. Let's go back to the next one. This is the one with all the colours in my little pen pot over the back there. And again, really nice colours. Not sort of over processed. They don't look too sort of punchy. It looks very natural. I think it's done a really good job of that. And a lot of people, there's no denying it, a lot of you in the chat will have watched other videos about the Razer phone, and a lot of them are saying, oh, the camera's terrible. First impressions of the camera, let's take a look at this one. So this one's under my desk, which is, or sorry, under my monitor, which hasn't got great light under there, which is why I always take this one. And there is a little bit of noise creeping in. There's no denying there's a little bit of noise, but the detail, it's picked up. And yes, I am embarrassed to say there is dust on my audio interface, but it has picked up all of the detail on the audio interface. Very impressed. First impressions of the camera are it's okay. I'm not going to test the video feature of the camera, but first impressions are that the camera performs okay. Nice natural colours anyway, from what I've seen so far. And that is a very early impression. I'll give you more details about that in a future video. So anyway, let's jump into the chat. So we're looking at the Razer phone. Techzilla says, is live chat working? It is certainly working, but I was concentrating on showing you some of the features here. Let's have a look further up some of the early questions. Martin Ellis, now Dave is aboard the Android train, he's going to have to get used to a new phone to want every week, almost. Oh, I absolutely love this. It's just so good. It really is good. Absolutely good. Yes, it is an LCD or LED type display in answer to Paul's question. Sore Addicts, I've recently got an iPhone 7 for the first time, first Apple product, although I'm not disappointed. I must admit I do miss Android. I've been going the other way, of course, coming away from iOS onto an Android smartphone, and I'm loving it, absolutely loving it. Raymond Moore, Razer phone has everything users want in a smartphone except for the camera. Next year they will definitely fix the camera. Well, maybe they do some updates to update the user interface in the camera. Those very early impressions, and they are just first impressions of the camera, it doesn't look terrible. It looks more than acceptable. I'll be more scrutinising it more over the next sort of week. But I think it looks very, very good indeed. Sore Addict says that must have cost a fortune. This is very reasonably priced. Do check out the link down in the video description and you'll see just how reasonably priced this is. I was surprised that this came out at this price point. They could have very easily added another £100 or possibly £200 to the price. And Chris Watson is saying really like it, especially the screen, but the camera is very average. But I guess the camera isn't important to a gamer. Well, even as a gamer, if you're into your gaming on your smartphone, a camera is still an important feature, but I do think it's been over criticised. Don't forget that this is sort of Razer's first smartphone, and it will develop with time. They will make tweaks to that camera software. I think the optics are definitely there, and being 12 megapixels allows it to gather more light as well, so we've obviously got larger pixels on that sensor. RPG Andy Gaming, I disagree. I think the iPhone 10 gives you the best bang for your buck at the moment. Well, a lot of people are liking the iPhone 10. It's not for everyone, but a lot of people are liking it. But there are equally people that aren't happy with Apple's direction this year. RPG Andy Gaming, and by your username you're definitely a good gamer. I was going to buy the Pixel, but the screen just put me off. If you're into your gaming, then Andy, this should be worthy of your consideration. The screen looks absolutely fantastic. I'm going to test out the speakers in a short while as well. Any more questions down here? Andy is also asking, Dave, I want to switch from my Samsung S8 Plus. What phone would you recommend? Well, it's really hard to recommend just one phone, and this video is all about the Razer phone, so I'm not really going to do a big recommendation at the moment, other than to say try and get some hands-on time. Go into a 3 store and try this for yourself. Experience the screen, experience the speakers, which we'll do very shortly, and it may well convince you that this could possibly be your next smartphone. So there are a lot of choice out there at the moment though. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, here we go. We've got one more before I move on to testing the speakers. The unexpected. What storage and RAM capacities will be available for the Razer? Well, there's only one as far as I know, and it's 8 GB of RAM and 64 GB of storage, which can be further expanded by a micro SD card. And then Western Gents United comes in with a really cool comment. Dave, most important question, do you PUBG bro? Not yet, but I have seen it and I'm very keen to try it. But anyway, let's move on. Let's test these speakers. I'm going to get a YouTube video up. There's YouTube loading, and we're going to do a search for, close that. Here we go, search for Geekanoids. I'm going to search for one of my videos because I know that I own the music in this, and we're going to do what should we do? Let's do track. Here we go. Let's do the epic intro track. This is a track that I actually created with my brother, so let's go across to where it starts. Wait for it to load. It's taking a bit of a time to load because we've got things downloading and updating at the moment on this smartphone. So we just wait for that to load. While that's loading, we've got Sore Addict saying Dolby Atmos, baby, which is very true about this smartphone. We've also got Ronillo saying HTC U11, Huawei Mate 10 Pro, Razer phone, or OnePlus 5T. It's a really hard call. There are so many options available nowadays. If you're into your gaming though, and you want a really good refresh rate on your screen, then this should definitely be considered. It doesn't want to load that at the moment. Let's try reloading it. Geekanoids has always had amazing intros. Here we go. That's not quite full volume. We'll go full volume in a moment. Let's go full volume. That is impressive. That is so impressive. That is, in fact, without a shadow of a doubt, I should say, the best speakers I've experienced on a smartphone. That sounded awesome. That really did sound awesome. Even though this is a first impressions video, that sounded amazing. Very, very loud, very detailed, punchy sound. A lot of detail in there, really good, and no distortion at all, even at full volume. That is amazing. Really very, very impressed. Super impressed with that. Awesome. So for watching back videos, or indeed game audio accompanying your gameplay, I think you'd be really impressed. That was awesome. Right, one more thing I want to do before I give you my sort of final opinion on this, and that is to do a selfie. So let's take a selfie in the studio lighting here. And let's take a look at that. Nice amount of detail. I tested a smartphone just recently, naming no names, and I wasn't that impressed with the front facing camera. That is a pretty good front facing camera. The actual colour is very accurate because I am quite pale, naturally pale. Nice detail around my what's left of the hair. Nice detail around there. A little tiny bit washed out in the background, but overall really good selfie cam. Just switched over to something else. That's a good experience. Good experience with the front facing camera as well. Again, these are all first impressions, and in my full review video, which will be next week after I've used the phone for a little while, I'll go into much more detail. But so far, that has really impressed me. So not only has the screen impressed me, but the front facing camera really impressed me, and the audio wowed me, absolutely wowed me. So let's pop back into the questions here. Techzilla saying it is a great year for phones. It certainly is. Raymond Moore is asking, does it have a boxy shape feel, comfortable in your hand, Dave? It is a boxy phone, so it is quite angular, but they've done a nice sort of radius to these corners, a little bit of a chamfered edge as well around the front edge. It doesn't dig in, so when I'm holding it like this, it doesn't dig into the hand. Doesn't feel top heavy either. It's nice and well balanced. Very, very nicely balanced phone. So no, I would say it is boxy in its shape, but it feels comfortable in the hand. We've also got Techzilla asking, is the only difference the colour of the logo? If you're referring to this one and the special edition or the limited edition one, the only difference is the colour on the logo. And I think the price is identical as well. You just have to get your order in quickly before they run out of the limited edition ones. The unexpected, does the Razer use an AMOLED display? The screen size and resolution. I think you must have tuned in late. We did already cover this. It is an LCD display, and the resolution is 1440 by 2560. So 1440 across, 2560 along the long edge, and it's a 5.7 inch IGZO LCD display. So that's the actual specs of the display, but the big feature there is the refresh rate of the display, 120 Hz. Techzilla also asked, does it feel heavy? Well, in comparison to, let's grab something like my iPhone 7 Plus. Feels about the same. Feels about the same. Let's have a look at size-wise. It's about the same size as well as the iPhone 7 Plus, about the same thickness as well, and about the same width. It's pretty much the same size as an iPhone 7 Plus, so that gives you an idea of the actual size of the phone. Sore addicts, isn't there a fingerprint scanner to open it? Yes, there is a fingerprint scanner. So if I lock the phone, so this is currently locked, and then we just place our finger on the button here. Oh, it's got to do this for the first time. It's going to ask me my code for the first time. I put that in wrong, so we just put my code in. There we go. So we can lock it, and then we just place our finger on the scanner and it unlocks. So to show that one more time, so it's locked and it unlocks. So very, very quick. We've also got a sound as it unlocks as well. Very cool little sound. Let me do that one more time. Cool. It's just so smooth. It really is. Very, very good. John Rosali said, not sure if I missed it, Dave, but how does the phone feel in the hand? Yeah, you did miss it. It feels absolutely fine. It's a very angular design, but nice curves on the corner, so it feels very, very nice. But it is a big phone. It is a big phone. Even though it's just got a 5.7-inch display, with fairly small bezels around the display, it's a little bit larger because we've got these really good speakers, which you also missed, John. So if you want to watch back the live broadcast after the event, then you'll hear those speakers in action, and the speakers are amazing. Very, very good indeed. And that display again, I just want to experience it again myself. It's just so good. You're not going to. I'm so disappointed you're not going to see this on the video, but it is just so silky smooth. If you follow me on Twitter, in fact, it's as smooth as Helium-3. So you Google that, Helium-3. It's as smooth as Helium-3. It really is very good. That's a little bit of an in-joke. You need to follow me on Twitter to get that one. But anyway, that is it. That is my unboxing and first impressions of the Razer phone. I'm really, genuinely very, very impressed. I'm going to be using this over the next week or so. I'll bring you my review next week, so I've had a good chance to test it, to experience it on a daily basis, and also to test that camera, because I know a lot of you are concerned about the camera. But I'll give you my verdict when I do my review next week, which will also be a live broadcast. You'll have a chance to actually ask questions in the review of the Razer phone next week. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for asking your questions. Do check out the link down below. A big thank you again to Razer for making this phone, for trying something a little bit different, and a big thank you to 3UK for making this video possible. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.